Welcome to Medica Nova Wellness Studio. I'm Dr. Angelika Maria Koch with the educational videos about optimal health and the most innovative and holistic approach to your well-being. Today let's talk about your heart and how you can heal irregular heartbeats with natural and effective therapeutic tools. Each year millions of people experience irregular heartbeats or arrhythmias. Studies show that 1 in 4 adult Americans over the age of 40 can develop irregular heartbeat. So it's important to be aware of the risk factors and what to do about it. So enjoy this video. To stay updated with my ongoing videos, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, share and like it with your friends and family, and don't forget to click that bell as it notifies you every time I upload a new video. And thank you so much for your thumbs ups and likes. So what is an irregular heartbeat? An irregular heartbeat can mean that the heart beats too fast, too slow, or has an irregular rhythm. Premature or extra beats are the most common type of arrhythmia, and this usually feels like a fluttering in your chest or maybe skipping a beat. The most common type of heart arrhythmias are atrial fibrillation, and this occurs when the normal beating in the upper chambers of the heart is irregular and the blood doesn't flow as well as it should be, from the atria, the upper chamber, to the lower chambers of the heart. On the other hand, when the heartbeat is too fast, we call it tachycardia, and if it's too slow, we call it bradycardia. Electrical signals which spread from the top of the heart to the bottom are causing the heart to contract and pump blood. A problem with this process, such as it being delayed or blocked as it travels down into the lower branches of the heart, can also cause an irregular heartbeat. And this can happen if the special nerve cells that produce the electrical signals don't work properly. Now in iridology, we call this a congested or affected nerve bundle branch. We can see this in the eyes that the nervous system here is affected. So getting palpitations before a job interview, or you have an examination, or the palpitations are a result of you being nervous, it's part of our daily language. We said, oh God, I have a fluttering heart, and that isn't really a medical condition. Having said that, if you have that on a daily basis or regular basis, then I would say absolutely you should have it checked out. Palpitations describe the feeling where a person feels a violent throbbing or fluttering sensation in the heart. Others experience palpitation as more of a pounding of the heart or a fast and forceful heartbeat. And palpitations can be benign, as I said, or harmless in most cases without any underlying heart disease. However, in other cases, it may indicate already a heart pathology. So if palpitations are accompanied by chest pain, for example, dizziness, fainting, or blackouts, of course, then you have to go to emergencies. So let's talk about the symptoms. Often you feel fatigue. There may be a dizziness involved. Some even feel like fainting or about to faint, lightheadedness, rapid heartbeat, or this pounding sensation. With it comes, of course, anxiety. There may be shortness of breath. There may be pain in the chest. If it goes too far, then there's maybe a collapse happening. But during an arrhythmia, the heart may not be able to pump enough blood to the bodies, which of course then can damage the brain, the heart, and other organs. What are the causes and the triggers here? I would say stress is on the top of the list, We have anxiety, emotional excitement. There can be anger, there can be fright, there can be grief, and there can be even excessive joy, Too much excitement. So emotional stress or anger can make the heart work harder. It raises your blood pressure, increases the cortisol levels, And research shows that psychological stress can stimulate, therefore, the sympathetic nervous system, which is part of the autonomic nervous system, and cause irregular heartbeat. They say about 20 to 40% of sudden cardiac death are actually precipitated by acute emotional stresses. And cardiac dysfunction that's triggered by emotional stress can therefore increase the risk for arrhythmia. Age, I think I would bring here as well. People sort of older than 60 are more affected. Exercise, physical exertion, if you have experienced a high fever or inflammatory conditions. Of course, overusing from caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, all can be part of it. Also, I would say women during pregnancy, because of the hormonal changes they can experience, as well as women who go through menopause, of course, very common. People with anemia, and I also would like to stress people who experience an overactive thyroid or underfunctioning thyroid. Dyspepsia, it means indigestion, can even cause palpitations, if you can't digest high fatty foods. Conditions that damage the heart can impair their heart's electrical system, which I mentioned before. That can be a heart attack, heart failure, congenital heart defects, high blood pressure. Infections that damage the heart muscle, maybe a mitral valve infection from a viral infection, diabetes, of course, sleep apnea, and sort of drug use, misuse of prescription medication I would bring in here as well. So what is the conventional treatment? Well, if you experience dizziness or chest pain or fainting due to an arrhythmia, you may need to be treated, of course. And usually when you go to a doctor, they check your heartbeat, they listen to the rate and the rhythm of your heart. Maybe there's a heart murmur. And then, of course, you have tests like EKG. Maybe they check for your swelling in your legs because that could be a sign of heart failure. But once you're diagnosed with cardiac arrhythmia, your doctor usually will guide you to choose an appropriate treatment plan. And that includes maybe beta blockers or calcium channel blockers or medical procedures and even surgery. So if you're interested in a health consultation, either for yourself and or your children, contact me at Medica Nova at health@medicanova.net. Medica Nova or New Medicine is my practice for integrated and educational medicine. We offer a unique blend of natural and cutting-edge therapeutic tools from homeopathy, iridology, sclerology, systemic herbology, advanced biofeedback, and health and wellness coaching, and so much more. So book your appointment today. Before we go into the natural treatment protocols, let's take a moment and I want to share with you some food for thought, the metaphysical meaning about irregular heartbeats. And you may be surprised, what I'm going to share with you right now, because we talked about stress, we talked about excess joy, grief, right, anxiety. But irregular heartbeat means your rhythm of your heart isn't working. It goes either back, forwards, too fast, too slow, right? So it's not just continuous smooth flow. There is sort of stagnant movement happening with back and forwards movements. And what does that mean on your mental and emotional level? I always refer to Koch Martel's references. He, of course, says cardiac arrhythmia is a disorder of the heartbeat rhythm. And he says the heart represents love. And palpitation problems are a sort of alarm signal for me, a call for help involving love. My deep fear of losing or not having the love I need so much is such that my palpitation problems are like a cry for help about love. My heart beats as fast as I live my life. I feel that I don't have control and I don't feel safe. I need to find more calm in my life. I search in all directions but find no answers to my questions. My heart beats for several different things at once. It may be persons, like in love, but also things I passionately like to do, like work or hobbies, and I feel I must make some choices. See? And here it comes. When you're not quite sure where to go in your life, where you go back and forwards, there's an indecisiveness happening. I know I must let go of someone or something, but it is very difficult. I feel unable to do it, as I'm very dependent. I'm experiencing duality, right? Backwards, forwards, what should I do? I or the others to whom I do assign priority. Who must I first take care of? The choices are hard to make. I feel divided, maybe over the meaning of life itself. I'm unstable in my life with respect to my emotional reactions. There are things I'm asked to do and that I do half-heartedly. Instead of living at my own pace, I follow the frenetic pace of society. An anomaly in my pulse shows me how much my heart vacillates between two choices, how difficult it is to make a decision with all its implications. So do you get the idea? It's about not being able to stand firm, make a right decision which works for you, and keep at it, right? Don't go backwards and forwards. So auricular fibrillation shows me that it is not legitimate for me to love whom I want and the way I want. I feel constraints related to the fact of showing my love for people. Whereas in tachycardia, right, where the heartbeat is too fast, it's characterized by this rapid rhythm, contraction of the heart. Its heartbeat accelerates to more than 90 beats per minute even, and this state is often due to intense exertions or emotions. An anguishing situation, a physical or mental exertion and fear provoke an imbalance that momentarily affects my heart, which sends me an SOS. I always thought I had to do more or faster to be loved, or even to have the right to live. I may also have the impression that I must make up for the time lost in a certain situation. It's almost you running behind your own life. In bradycardia, where we have a slowing rhythm, a slowing down of the heartbeats, the heart may abnormally slow down suddenly and cause even faintness, which sometimes justifies implanting, of course, a pacemaker. And now here we have an accumulation of deep griefs, right, especially related to my father. May bring on the faintness, as if my heart could no longer stand this suffering and decided to stop beating. I withdraw to protect myself because I no longer feel like struggling. I prefer to savor each instant of happiness and love, for it seems to me that they are rare. If there's an extrasystole, which means premature contraction, it shows me how much I miss the love of my parents, especially my father. Love comes to me with interruptions, often after frequent separations and reunions that tear up my heart. In any one of these situations, I become aware that love is involved. I breathe calmly and deeply and listen to my heart. So what is the positive affirmation? I let go of everything that is no longer good for me. With determination, I choose the road I want to follow. I accept that harmony will come back into my life emotionally as well as socially. Right? The body is your best friend, and it always expresses the internal conflict. And that can be on the mental emotional, but also on the spiritual level. Listen to your body. Your body has all the answers. It gives you the answers if you really only start asking for it. If you want to explore more about yourself, your wellness vision, what motivates you, and how to apply your strengths qualities in achieving the very best of you, then contact Medica Nova Wellness Coaching at health@medicanova.net for your 3 months coaching program. I'm coaching you to be well. Let's go into our natural treatment and lifestyle changes part. We start with vagal maneuvers, and they're used to slow down a rapid heartbeat by stimulating the receptors in the internal carotid arteries. Now, this stimulation causes a reflex stimulation of the vagus nerves, which is the largest nerve in our body. It connects the brain to the digestive system, and which results in the release of acetylcholine. It's a neurotransmitter that can slow down the electrical impulses that lead to a rapid heartbeat. Now, the vagus nerve, as mentioned, is the longest cranial nerve extending from the brainstem to the abdomen. And the vagus forms part of the involuntary nervous system, and it commands unconscious body procedures such as keeping the heart rate constant. So vagal maneuvers are sort of natural behavioral treatments that can be done before turning to medications or other more invasive procedures. There are different types of maneuvers that you can try, and remember that not one maneuver maybe works for everyone. So when you have an irregular heartbeat, first thing you want to do is coughing, right? Really keep the heartbeat going. You maybe want to bear down your body or blow through a straw or through a syringe. It really, gets your whole circulation going. You maybe just want to get a cold, very cold cloth or water, splash it into your face, or ice pack helps here. Put it on your face maybe for 10 seconds. Gagging stimulates the vagus nerve, right? You can use a tongue depressor if you don't like to put your finger in your mouth. That can help. But for the long term, I really like Kundalini practices. There are fantastic meditations which work with sound, with movement, and of course with your mindfulness, and very much target the vagus nerve in itself, because you want to balance the heart from within. And in the description box, I put 3 different examples for you to explore and to enjoy. One is called Kriya. Is really one of the most powerful practices in Kundalini yoga to stimulate and balance your heart, as well as some other beautiful practices. Of course, diet-wise, consume a healthy and anti-inflammatory diet. It's like bring in antioxidants, phytonutrients, because they lower the immune system's overactive response. Here I want to bring in healthy fats. Good omega-3, 6 and 9 in the form of borage oil, flaxseed oil, fish oil, but in a healthy ratio, which is important here. Do not drink chlorinated water because it destroys the vitamin E within the body. And vitamin E is really, really well and essential for your healthy heart health. You want to engage in physical activity, not too much, but nicely going to stimulate your overall circulation. Of course, quit smoking, maintain your healthy weight. It's important here too. Reduce your stress. You want to bring in some homeopathic remedies for certain emotional triggers right now in a minute. I also would suggest acupuncture, which is really lovely here. The combination of healthy lifestyle changes, your mindfulness in investigating the causes of you experiencing irregular heartbeats, and top indicated homeopathic remedies for irregular heartbeats, I believe that you will be able to heal your irregular heartbeats. Look around your environment, the people you're engaging with. What's going on in your mind, your thoughts? What are you afraid of? What makes you anxious? And if you experience long-term grief, be courageous and fall or dive into the sadness. Let it out, embrace it, because it will all benefit you healing your irregular heartbeats. In this video, I want to share with you some remedies which work on triggers on the mental and emotional level. Of course, if you experience chest pain or it's out of proportion, please contact your personal healthcare practitioner or your doctor, or contact Medica Nova at health@medicanova.net for further guidelines or to book your appointment. You also want to match the suggested homeopathic remedies with your individual symptomatology. What are your individual symptoms? And then you want to match them with the description of the suggested remedies, and then it usually will work. But as I said, always, contact your homeopath or ask for some more guidelines. So if you experience a lot of anger in your life, and not just for a week, but for some time, you feel like a victim. You feel indignation. This means like, how dare you said that to me? But you can't really express your anger because maybe you're in a work situation, you're employed. If you really would speak up, you maybe would lose your job. So you're dependent on the salary. Right now in this challenging world, this would be a very common situation. Something where you feel like you have to hold it in. And as I said, you feel like a victim, but it's not just a little, anger. You almost feel like boiling rage, but it's suppressed. And over time, your body experiences palpitation or irregular heartbeats because of feeling so angry. The remedy Staphysagra is a godsend here, because it not only will heal your palpitations, but it will actually realign you so you can deal and focus with this victimized feeling. Abuse comes here to mind, right? Of course, in the health food store, you will get the potency 30. It's the number behind the name of the homeopathic remedy. What would I suggest? I would suggest maybe 1 tablet, in adults, of course, only 3 times a day, maybe for a week. See how that works, but always contact your practitioner as well here. On the other hand, if you feel palpitations caused by fright, right? By now you are anxious, but almost to the point where you feel restless and you have an anxiety and almost feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. That kind of heightened terror and this anxiety. The remedy Aconite is here very, very useful. Aconite 30. We have other remedies for this particular situation, but I want to focus on Aconite here first. I mentioned grief, right? You can have anxiety or palpitations, irregular heartbeats caused by long-term grief. You maybe suddenly go through old photos and there you are reminded again of the loss of the beloved. You go to a shop and hear a song and suddenly you are sort of transported back into the memories. Maybe somebody mentions your beloved's name and you're totally thrown back into a feeling of anxiety within, or the grief is really activated, which causes you to experience palpitations, right? Not just other symptoms. We really talk about irregular heartbeats today. the remedy Ignatia Amara is wonderful here. It's really a remedy which deals with this particular situation of grief, acute grief, and it brings excellent results immediately. On the other hand, if you experience palpitations as a result of joy, can you imagine, that you can actually create irregular heartbeats of joy, like sudden excitement, right? You've won the lottery, right? Suddenly millions of dollars are flooding into your life, and you can't hardly bear and take it. I mean, it's only a few of us who will experience that. But it's this joyful moment which really takes you out of your normal state of life, and you experience palpitations and irregular heartbeat. The remedy is Coffea cruda 30. It's a wonderful remedy here, which is indicated for palpitations brought on by sudden joyful moments, but which can actually result in an ailment. If you experience just anxiety because of financial loss, for example, and there's a marked restlessness, as I said, fear of death can be involved, think about the remedy aconite, but also I would say arsenicum album comes here to mind. Wonderful remedy, particularly when it's about money related, future anxiety, all of that could be very, very helpful here. Even asthma could bring on high palpitations, irregular heartbeat, and arsenicum album is very indicated here. Now here's another food for thought, little tip, and you might find this interesting to know, but I can't say the name, but the current pandemic or the health crisis stirs up a lot of anxiety among the population due to its contagious element. Well, the homeopathic remedy arsenicum album not only addresses the mental and emotional symptoms of this health crisis, the heightened anxiety and the fear of maybe contracting a viral situation, but also covers actually the broad spectrum of the overall viral symptomatology. And that's the beauty of here, that I believe if we calm down the nervous system within our population at this point right now, other symptoms like irregular heartbeats could be actually addressed here as well. Now, if you experience palpitations or irregular heartbeats caused by stimulants, and that can be by tobacco, that can be by coffee, or overuse of allopathic medications, I would use Nux vomica. So wonderful remedy, Nux vomica 30, really helps here nicely. In the UK, maybe if you have drunk too much tea on a regular basis, right? Everyone drinks tea in the UK, but excess intake of tea, we have a remedy called Thea sinensis, wonderful here as well. Again, tobacco use, we use the homeopathic remedy tobacco, but also Kalmia would be a good one, as well as Convallaria. Now, if palpitations come on slightest motion or physical exertion, we are using, or homeopathy using, remedies like digitalis or spigelia, but here you need to see your practitioner. It's out of your range here. As well, if you have, for example, palpitation caused by anemia, ferrometallicum or Natrum muriaticum is a great remedy. In fact, Natrum muriaticum is a remedy based on deep grief as well. And then, of course, I mentioned palpitation caused during the menopause. We have Amiolesum nitrosum or clonoin or lachesis is a very common remedy here to calm down the palpitations experienced during menopause. lachesis is very, very common, and it can be purchased over the counter at your local health food store. You just need to know which remedies to apply. Also mentioned palpitation caused by hyperthyroidism, overactive thyroidism. Iodum and spongia are wonderful remedies here as well. So you can see, if you know which remedies to choose, really incorporate more healthy lifestyle changes. Look what's going on in your life. Why shouldn't you heal your irregular heartbeat? Homeopathy, of course, offers many more indicated remedies for palpitation caused, for example, I mentioned indigestion, dyspepsia, arrhythmias in general, tachycardia, bradycardia, skip beats. But as I said, I want to keep it simple in this video. But I hope this video gave you inspiring food for thoughts and also natural guidelines how to heal your common irregular heartbeat ailment. So to stay updated with my ongoing videos, I appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, like and share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to click that bell which notifies you whenever I upload a new video. And give me a thumbs up, and thanks so much. Now, if you have any questions about the suggested treatment protocols or homeopathic remedies, please contact Medica Nova at health@medicanova.net. And I just want to throw out something else. You maybe want to have a look at my website, medicanova.net, at the online academy, because from March till June, I'm going to offer you each month a course, an online course, a home study online course for 25% discount. And you can choose between homeopathy for the whole family, homeopathy for birthing life, that is indicated for pregnancy, birth, and postnatal care. You may be interested in learning about health and wellness coaching, quantum healing, the mind, body, and the soul connection. I mean, so much more to explore. And each month I offer you a course for 25% discount. So stay tuned, or have a look at my website, medicanova.net. So till next time, much love, take care, and just enjoy life, right? Create a wonderful and smooth rhythm within your heart. And give you a big hug. Take care.